it's Laura from Divine Light Yoga. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a good day or a good evening wherever you are in the world. Today I just wanted to jump on and share a story with you of something that I experienced earlier in the week, and then from this experience share what I learned, of course, but also share some techniques with you that maybe will help you when you are working with children if you come across this similar experience. So earlier in the week I was at the swimming pool. I was swimming, which usually for me is a very calm, relaxing, almost meditative process. So swimming for me really makes me feel very connected to my body, connected to my breath, very mindful, connected to the natural element of water, especially if I'm swimming in the ocean or a natural body of water. But this particular experience was far from relaxing or calming for me. So beside me there was a swimming lesson going on. There were about 10 to 12 young children. I would say they were 5 to 6 years old. And they all came in and they were very excited. They had their swimming hats and their goggles, and you could tell they were really excited. I think it was maybe the first or second swimming class of the term. And the coach, the swim coach, he seemed really great. He was very playful and was encouraging the children all the time, giving them lots of praise and positive reinforcement, and really going into detail with them in an age-appropriate way of swimming technique, of the physical technique. And they seemed to like him. He seemed very, very approachable. But I noticed that they were all really breathless, and throughout the whole session they were just gasping for air. So they would swim up and down the swimming pool and they were gulping lots of water and just coming up, like desperately trying to get air. And you could see they were not very focused. Some of them were clearly a little bit anxious or apprehensive, and it just seemed like quite a stressful experience. And for me, swimming in the next lane, I was just on high alert. I really felt very anxious about these children being next to me and they weren't able to breathe. You know, as a yoga teacher, we know that the breath is essential. The breath is the number one thing to focus on, to bring more energy into the body, to relax and calm the body, and also to empower and strengthen the body. So for me, watching children really struggling with the breath just brought up so many emotions for me. I felt really frustrated and anxious and a little bit guilty about being next to these children who just clearly couldn't breathe. They were really, really struggling. And a big part of me just wanted to go over and rescue them, and I was wondering whether I should step in and speak to the swimming coach, but I just didn't feel like it was my place. And of course these children weren't in danger at all, but for me it just brought up a lot of emotion to be able to be experiencing watching these children who were really struggling to grasp their breath, and as a result just clearly were unenthusiastic or demotivated. They just lost that excitement that they had come in with, and also lost the strength and the energy that they had obviously come into the class with. And so this experience just made me realize or reinforce just how essential it is to give children this tool of how to breathe. Obviously, you know, breathing comes naturally, and our body is absolutely incredible that it changes our breath depending on our experience. But we really need to give children certain tools on how to breathe in certain ways to make them feel calm, or to help them to release excess energy or frustration. Or when teaching them a new skill such as swimming or dancing or doing a handstand, then we need to give them this breathing technique which will empower them, make them feel that they are in control, because they are in control. Giving them energy, giving them strength, building up their confidence and their willpower. because the moment that children lose their breath, they lose their concentration. They lack control, which is very scary for them. Of course, they can then go into a state of anxiety, fear. It can just be it can be a downward spiral. So giving children this essential tool of how to breathe, how to manipulate and to control the breath can be so empowering. Definitely is empowering. Not can be, it is empowering. And something that as adults, whether you're a parent, a carer, a community worker, an educator, a yoga teacher, whatever your role is in your community and in your life and your family, it is our responsibility to share these breathing techniques with children. So today I wanted to share my favourite 3 breathing techniques to help children when you are teaching them a new skill that involves them feeling energized and feeling in control. So whether it is dancing or football or ice hockey or swimming, giving children these 3 techniques to be in control so that they can stay focused, they can stay strong physically and mentally. So the first technique that I have is a preparation technique before children start the skill. So let's just say that their skill is swimming, since that was my experience earlier this week. So before they go into the swimming pool, you can do this preparation breathing technique which I call gorilla's breath. So they use their hands. So if they're younger, they can use the palm of their hands, and if they're a little bit older, they can use their fists. And they just gently pat the chest, the top of the chest, and up to the collarbone. And so you do this for quite a few breaths. You can do it up to 30 seconds or a minute, and they stay quiet and try to stay focused on the breath and on the movements and what they're feeling inside the body, feeling the vibrations and the sensations. And then they take a deep breath in through their nose and out through their mouth. And I would repeat this process 3 to 5 times. So they're breathing in and out naturally, just focusing on using their hands on their fists or their hands on the chest. And that's an inhale through the nose and a cleansing breath out through the mouth. If you're working with slightly older children, maybe 6 years plus, you can also do this technique along the side of their body on the rib cage. So making sure that it's a little bit of pressure, but they're still being aware and careful with their body. So this is a great preparation technique to get them awake, to get them energized. It's a very good cleansing technique. So they're breathing out anything that's stuck there in their lungs, anything that's stuck emotionally also and energetically, and getting that out, getting them into their physical body so they're really feeling the physical body. It's a grounding technique which will create focus and willpower. So their first technique is gorilla's breath. My second technique is something that you can introduce to them at the beginning of the session, and they can use it throughout. So whether they're swimming, playing football, learning how to do handstands, this technique will give them, again, the focus, the strength, the power, bringing energy into their body, but it's also calming for their mind and their body. So when they're starting a new skill, it can create, a little bit of stress or anxiety, fear or doubt. And this breathing technique can help them calm whilst energizing them and giving them strength. And this is Ujjayi breath. So it's also known as ocean breath, or for some people, Darth Vader breath. But for younger children, definitely ocean breath is a nice way to introduce it. This one is an inhale and an exhale through the nose. The exhale is a little bit more forceful than the inhale, and it's a slight constriction to the back of the throat. And we're breathing more into the top parts of the chest and the rib cage rather than the belly breath. So we're breathing into the top part of the to the upper part of the body, and where it's it is an audible exhalation. So it's an inhale through the nose exhale through the nose. But we're creating this ocean breath, or this Darth Vader breath. So it's a slight constriction to the back of the throat, and it's creating this audible exhalation, so they're able to hear their exhalation. If you're working with younger children, a way that you can maybe introduce it is doing it with their mouth open first, maybe even using a mirror or just using their hand in front of them so that they can inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, making that ocean sound. And then once you've done that a few times, get them to do the same technique, but with their mouth closed. And this is something that they can use throughout whatever activity that they are doing, where they need focus, strength, and that sense of calm. The third technique, my final technique, is something that you can use after the session. So once they've come out of the swimming pool, or at the end of their football practice, or once they've come out of their handstands, or whatever it is, you're then introducing it afterwards. And this technique is to release any excess energy, any heat that's been built up that you want to start bringing down, releasing any frustrations, stress, or anxiety that still might reside there, or any excitement. You know, for some children, and even for some adults, when you do something new, maybe something that you were doubting you would be able to do, when you come out of it, you feel so energized, which is wonderful, but the excitement can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes and take you out of the physical body and not feel very grounded or connected. So this breathing technique is called lion's breath, so good for releasing heat, energy, frustration, or anxiety. It's an inhale through the nose, and an exhale, very forceful exhale through the mouth with your tongue sticking out. So you can imagine that children absolutely love this one. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. So it's a forceful, long, strong exhalation through their mouth. And I would do this maybe 3 to 5 times. I probably wouldn't do it more than 5 times, because then it can become quite tiring. So we still want children to feel energized and calm, but just releasing any of that excess energy, frustration, or heat within the physical or mental body. So those are my 3 techniques, energizing breathing techniques, that will help children who are doing sports or learning new physical skills. It will really help them to stay mentally and physically strong, focused, calm, energized, and to give them the control to build their confidence and help them to really feel empowered. So just to recap, the first one is a preparation, and that is gorilla's breath, so the tapping breath. The second one is to use throughout the session or throughout the sports technique, whatever it is that they're doing, their swimming or their handstands, and that is ujjayi breath or ocean breath. And the third technique to use after the session as a release is called lion's breath. So I hope that these are helpful for you. I've done a lot of blogs about relaxing, calming breathing techniques. So if you are interested in learning more about breathing techniques for children and teens, then you can hop over to our YouTube channel and have a look at those videos. And whether you are a parent or a grandparent or a sports coach or an educator or a therapist, then next time you are working with children who need some focus and energy and calm, so all of those things, try 1 or 2 or ideally all 3 of those breathing techniques and see how it works for you, and give children this very simple but such a powerful, incredible gift of being in control of their own breath, building up their confidence, building up their strength, and really empowering children just through a couple of breathing techniques. Okay, and then let us know So hop over to our Facebook group, our Facebook community, and let us know how these breathing techniques feel for you, so you can do it with the children that you're working with or your children at home, and how it has impacted the children that you're working with, and if you notice a difference. And if you are interested at all in learning more about children's yoga, so all aspects of yoga, the physical side, the philosophy, breathing techniques, meditation and mindfulness, then you can check out the courses that we are running. So we have an online course, and we also have residential teacher training, certified 10-day courses, as well as some shorter 4-day courses. So we have a couple coming up, one in Brunei next month, and then Kuala Lumpur, that's a 4-day course in Kuala Lumpur in November. And I only have a couple of spaces left for that one, so if you're interested, then do hop over to the website and check it out, and then send me an email. So our website is www.divine-light-yoga.com. So have a wonderful Friday wherever you are in the world, and thank you very much for listening. Namaste.